What's going on, HBCU family? It is Tuesday, November 19th, and you are locked into a brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. I am your gracious host, Nick Eden, and we're back with another packed show. And I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was running. Trying to get back before the intro went out because I was trying to make my coffee because I've really been a lazy ass today. Man, listen, I appreciate everybody for tuning in to a brand new episode of In the Quad with Nick Eden. If you are brand new to the show, In the Quad with Nick Eden is a show where we cover all, and I mean all, of the trending topics across the HBCU landscape. That's TikTok, Fizz, Snapchat, Fanbase, Facebook, Twitter/IG. You name it, we're covering it. And we condense those down to 4 main topics. I almost lost my place for a second because I just realized I'm wearing my merch from my old podcast, Morning Cup of Merch, and it was the same setting. I was like, where am I? But we condensed those down to 4 main topics. And those 4 main topics are covered in our first part of the show. The second part of the show, which is my absolute favorite, is our fam topics. This is the time where you, the viewer, get to interact outside of those who are hollering, because y'all started to holler at me on YouTube now. So I appreciate everybody that's in the comments on YouTube. What's going on, Jay? Make sure y'all subscribe. Hey, look, real quick, because I'm all about, we got to bring up the other content creators in the space. When one of us does well, we all do well. Go over to JTV Videos. That's with 2 Y's. Subscribe. It's got great band content out there, really doing this thing. But anyway, so the fam topics, again, my favorite part of the show. This is where you, the viewer, get to submit your questions and or comments. And if you would like your questions or comments submitted or read on Fam Topics, it's real simple. Right here, head over to my socials, at Nick Eden on Twitter, at Nick Eden on Instagram. And I'll be adding Fanbase as well. Nick Eden on Fanbase. Click the link tree in the bio and submit your questions. If it is appropriate, I will absolutely read them. If not, you're getting left on red. And that's all there is to it. Shout out to Sonic Boom C98 in the chat. Shout out to Liv for Hoops. Liv did an amazing job as correspondent this weekend in Atlanta for the HBCU All-Star game. Tuskegee versus Morehouse. Well, I think I'm almost positive that was the matchup. Or was it? If it wasn't, Liv, correct me. And I feel terrible about it because I've been retweeting the stuff all weekend. It's been a long weekend, y'all. It's been a long week. But so anyway, let's get into our main topics. And, you know, it seems like we all ghetto. I talked about it yesterday. There's been some fallout. There has been some serious fallout with the NCCU versus Howard game. This comes to us from my friends over at HBCU Game Day. The MEAC has reviewed the tape and suspended nearly 40 student athletes and 1 coach following a brawl that took place following the North Carolina Central Howard University game on rare Friday night HBCU broadcast. A total of 36 student athletes, 17 from Howard and 19 from North Carolina Central, have been suspended by the conference. In addition, 1 assistant coach from Central has been suspended as well for violating the MEAC Constitution and bylaws. No names were released. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference has a zero tolerance policy for fighting, as it directly violates the values of sportsmanship, respect, and integrity that define our conference, said MEAC Commissioner Sonia Stills. We're committed to maintaining a safe and respectful environment for all student athletes, coaches, and fans. Any actions that compromise these principles will result in serious consequences. Woo! Listen, y'all head over to HBCU Game Day. Check out the rest of that article. Look, let me say this. So I guess like the MEAC saw what the SWAC did and was like, yeah, we're going to add 10 to each team because y'all just out of pocket. Look, again, and somebody actually said this in Fam Topics, so I'm going to address the full nature of it. I addressed it in my final thoughts yesterday, but But y'all, seriously, we know we can't. You can't be doing this crap anymore. Come on, y'all. Come on. I mean, this. Come on. It happened in the MEAC. It happened in the SWAC. It happened in the CIAA. The SIAC is probably the only one that acted like they had some sense this past weekend. So again, y'all, we're grown. Let's keep it. Let's keep it funky. Okay. But I do want to know what you think about it. So, I mean, your opinion on it is valid and necessary. So, head on over to Twitter/X at Nick Eden and let me know your thoughts. All right, guys. Now, to our next main topic. I've got some mixed feelings about this. I will be honest. I understand it, and not because of what people think, but Jay-Z and Wharton partner for HBCU Financial Literacy Initiative. This comes to us from BET.com. For decades, Jay-Z has championed the rags to riches lifestyle in his rhymes. Now, through the Sean Carter Foundation, co-founded by his mother, Gloria Carter, the rapper and Roc Nation founder wants to pass his wealth of knowledge to HBCU students. With support from Toyota Motor North America, the foundation has partnered with the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania's Coalition for Equity and Opportunity to develop the Champions for Financial Literacy. This initiative draws its curriculum from the Wharton School Bridges to Wealth, a program encouraging generational wealth among underserved communities. According to SCF, Champions for Financial Literacy will follow real-world applications and service learning components, allowing students to apply their financial knowledge in community settings, thereby expanding the ecosystem of wealth building and fostering local development. The initiative will be an opportunity for those looking to explore budgeting, market risk and return, stock markets, additional curriculum topics. The initiative debuts in the spring of 2025 at Missouri's Lincoln University, Virginia's Norfolk State University, and Virginia State University before expanding to other HBCUs. Complementary professional development training will be offered to university-appointed faculty from each institution, while trained student ambassadors will promote CFFL to encourage campus enrollment. All right. Now, let me say this, because I know somebody's going to say, people have their reasons why they don't fool with Jay-Z. I'm not one of those people. I'm not. Here's the issue that I have with this. Sean Carter Foundation partnered with the Wharton School, which is the School of Business for University of Pennsylvania. Shout out to Wharton. I actually have a certification in managing human and social capital from a Wharton school. I told y'all I got some PWI ties. I'm just saying. But shout out to them. I do have that certification. So I don't want to sound hypocritical when I say that I wish they would have partnered with an HBCU for this HBCU initiative, but that's honestly what I feel. I don't know any other way to say it. Like, when I think about the case, when I think about the fact that both Alabama A&M and North Carolina A&T have one of the few, I want to say it's one of 23 schools with a certified financial planner designation, that certification, which is not just something that you can go out and just grab. Like, there's benchmarks that you have to meet. I would have just liked to see Sean Carter Foundation part, because it's like, oh, we're doing this initiative for HBCUs, but we're partnering with UPenn in order to bring it. I would have liked to see a direct correlation with the HBCUs. Now, there's another part to this. The other part to this is the Wharton School, which through many partnerships, some things they have that are proprietary, some things they use platforms like Coursera, Ed2Go, and 2U, that's fine. But some of the stuff is proprietary within the school system. What I think from an HBCU standpoint is, we should be developing our own curriculum into this. And I keep saying this, but partly because I'm hyping myself up as I go into this master's program for curriculum design. So there's a part of that's a bit selfish. I just wish that we put ourselves in position where we had the infrastructure to develop these curricula on our own and then spread them throughout the HBCU landscape, because at a certain point there's still a transactional thing going on with the Wharton School. And I would have just liked to see, because it's like, oh, Jay-Z partners for this HBCU initiative, but really he's partnering with Wharton, and 3 HBCUs are going to benefit from it in the spring of 2025. But this can very easily be rolled out to any other school. You never know. You look up in South Texas College has it. University of Alabama at Birmingham has it. Whoever, whatever. And again, it's not that I think this is a bad thing. I really want us to get to the point where we're developing our own proprietary curricula that can be used for initiatives like this, because you get to the point where you have a few too many hands in the pocket. Anyway, that's just me nitpicking. I still think it's great. If y'all want to read the full story, please head on over to BET.com, and we're going to take our first commercial break. When we come back, we'll be back with the rest of our main topics, and I will be talking directly to you, Sonic Boom C98. I gave Bama State the blame that they deserve. Don't stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Anyway, it's in the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
When I push, I feel good. Push, 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 push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Is that your new Nissan Rogue?
Yeah, crazy story. So this morning, I'm at the Nissan Thrill of Summer sales event, taking a test drive. When Dave, the sales guy, is like, "You're gonna love this." He shows me the best-in-class fuel economy and lets me know it's recommended by Consumer Reports. When Dave says, "These cars are going fast," I knew I had to have that Rogue.
Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000, like Rogue, with 2.9% financing for 60 months.
No charger?
It's a Mac. The battery lasts all day.
See you next week.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. It's 17 past the hour. We're right in the middle of our main topics. And this next topic, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I feel just a little bit of a ways about talking about this subject. Y'all, I really try to remain as impartial as I possibly can when it comes to HBCU Twitter Weekly and it comes to In the Quad. I just report what you guys have trending. But damn, this didn't have to happen at my school. My goodness. But, it is what it is. So shout out to them for doing it. This comes to us from Uprocks. Tyler, the Creator's heart is filled after an HBCU marching band performed an arrangement of Sticky from Chromacopia. I don't follow Tyler, the Creator, so I don't know what the hell that is. Several of music's biggest names are byproducts of an HBCU. Although Tyler, the Creator, isn't on the coveted list, that is not stop HBCU bands from showing his music immense love. On Saturday, November 16th, once HBCU marching band tackled... Okay, wait. Let me say this real quick. I struggle with this, and this is why I generally read from Black-owned platforms. Because if you've been around in the last 4 years, at the very least, you know the name Jackson State University. If nothing else, from Coach Prime. But they keep, again, I'm nitpicking here. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm nitpicking. But that's beside the point. Let me go back to it. One HBCU marching band, the Jackson State Sonic Boom of the South. Come on, y'all. Tackled Tyler the Creator standout track off his chart-topping album, whatever that name is. As Jackson State Tigers took on the Alabama State Hornets on the football field, their bands had a match of their own. Actually, it was after. It's called Fifth Quarter. Come on, y'all, get with it. To demonstrate their range, the Sonic Boom of the South band performed a masterful and viral arrangement of Tyler the Creator's song Sticky. After the performance was shared on X, it made its way to Tyler the Creator's desk. Tyler's reaction is sure to bring a smile to the instrumentalist's face. Said, "This is why I made Sticky. This is why I arranged it that way. This is beautiful. My heart is filled." This isn't the first time Tyler the Creator's response to a viral post about Sticky, which features Glorilla, Sexy Red, Lil Wayne, and Young Buck. So I'm gonna do something here, y'all. I don't do this much, so y'all gonna have to forgive me and bear with me if I screw it up. We'll just act like it didn't happen, right? You know what? Let's do this. This is some real time changing I'm doing here. Only because well, that's beside the point. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. Let's see. I hope I don't get flagged for this because YouTube be tripping. All right, man. I guess. No, all jokes aside, man. Shout out to the Sonic Boom of the South. I love when our bands go viral. I hate that it happened in my stadium, but I love seeing it. And shout out to Showtime Web, man. Showtime Web has been doing this thing for a very long time. Showtime is a constant and great in the HBCU space. So big shout out to him. Again, shout out to Sonic Boom of the South. Y'all definitely did y'all thing with that arrangement. And it's great to see the coverage outside of just the HBCU media space. So I joke about it. Like I'm not, I promise I'm not really hating at all. Y'all know what it is. But and I will also say this, because we've seen a lot of this talk this year. And this is why I say and have said time and time again, the band is not just the side chick for the football stadium or for the football team. And I understand HBCU football is hot right now. Great. I love it. But I'm telling you, that is a prime reason why when HBCU football was not hot, it was the band that was putting asses in seats at the game. And I know there are some athletes that get a little bit, they get a little touchy when I get to talking about that, but it's the truth. And I will also say this, band has put more students through college than football ever has. And that's not a slight at football. It's just the truth. So again, shout out to the Sonic Boom of the South. Shout out to Tyler, the Creator. I've only heard the band arrangement of this. I've never actually heard Sticky. Sorry. Even though Glorilla's on there, and Glorilla's my little baby. That's my little hood baby right there. But I do want to know your thoughts about it. So head on over to @NickEaton on Twitter /X and let me know your thoughts. And our final main topic of the day. This comes to us from Inside Higher Ed. Future prepping HBCU students with digital learning. To reduce equity gaps, nonprofit groups are investing in resources that help learners at historically Black institutions plan for after education and earn digital credentials. HBCUs are known for servicing a significant share of Black students in the U.S., providing a more positive learning environment for these students, but historic underfunding of HBCUs continues to impact students' success after graduation. A brief published earlier this year by the Institute for College Access and Success found that students who attended four-year HBCUs earned $16,000 less than their peers who attended non-HBCUs, and they are more likely to have student loans, owing an average 130% more of their original loan balances. Nonprofit organizations have stepped in, providing personalized support and free resources for HBCU learners to close equity gaps in earnings and careers through digital tools. I'm gonna skip down this a little bit. So basically, this is talking about some additional scholarships and additional learning opportunities through groups like, of course, we all know about Thurgood Marshall, College Fund. Listen, I'm going to say this, and I might catch some flack for this. I ain't going to catch no flack for this. The hell with that. Everybody, and this came from Inside Higher Ed, which is one of the highest trades within higher education landscape. Everybody likes to talk about that is hilarious. That's hilarious. Everybody likes to talk about how it's a talking point that HBCUs are historically underfunded. When on God's green earth are the people who know this and talk about it all the time going to actually step in and do something about it? Like, I'm not being funny. If the people who are sitting at the top of higher ed, who also hold positions in White House groups and everything across all administrations, when are they going to step in and say, y'all are underfunding them? There is a fly in here and it's killing me. Y'all are underfunding them and it needs to stop. When are they going to do that? These folks sit on all the boards within their particular state. Like, I'm not being funny. It's like a dude sitting back and seeing his next door neighbor beat his wife and still be like, man, that's crazy, man. You know, she got a lot of problems going on, man. Her husband keep beating her. Who's going to step in and call the police or knock that fool out? Like, we talk about it all the time. And everybody, every single person always says the same thing. They always say HBCUs are underfunded. HBCUs are underfunded. If you know that, and you are in position to help and change it, why do you just sit back and let it help? Because it lets me know that it's just a good talking point and you really don't care. And if that's the case, I'd rather these academics, I'd rather these state representatives, these state senators, I'd rather all of them just say, we know we're not, funding y'all right, and we're not going to do anything to change it. We don't care. I would much rather they say that than just go on and continue this virtue signaling of saying, oh, we know that they're, historically underfunded. Well, no shit, Sherlock. That's like me going to 23andMe and them telling me that, oh, you're 98% West African. No joke. Thank you for telling me where you picked me up from. Great. But they won't get to the core of the problem. So that's why, and again, y'all want to read it, man. Y'all go to Inside Higher Ed. That low key just really pissed me off. I ain't gonna even hold you. Anyway, we're gonna take our it bugs me. I promise you it bugs me. We're gonna take our second commercial break. We'll be right back with my favorite part of the show. Something that's gonna make me happy, and that's our fam topics. It's in the quad with Nick Eden.
From now on, it's all about us. Starting a family, buying a car, our first home.
They told you to open an account, then turned you away. They said, come back when you're ready. You said, we're ready now.
I know we're going to make it.
Hope makes it happen. Thousands of your neighbors, many who never had a bank account before, improved their lives with Hope Credit Union. You can too. Brighter futures begin with Hope.
When I push, I feel push. When I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
This is not just delivery. This is knowing even superheroes can use a sidekick. Walgreens.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
Hey, sweet new gear. It's like Best Buy hooked you guys up.
Pretty sick, right?
What is that?
That's our traveling trophy. Oh, that's what's up, man.
Ah, a goat for the goats. Fits these pro-level setups.
Last year's trophy.
Not a goat.
Nope.
What if you could get all the latest and greatest gaming gear from one place?
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden, where we are covering the hottest, and I mean the hottest topics in the HBCU landscape. Y'all, it is time for my favorite part of the show. I'm going to go ahead and get my In the Quad coffee mug too. That's the other thing, y'all. I got a new merch drop coming this week. So make sure you keep your eyes out for that. New merch is dropping. It's hoodie season, so y'all make sure y'all get that. But it is time for my favorite, and I do mean my absolute favorite part of the show. This is the part of the show where I get to hear from you all, not just in the YouTube comments. This is the fam topics, and if you would like your fam topics read, it's really simple. Head on over to my socials at Nick Eden on Instagram, at Nick Eden on Twitter/X. Click the link tree in the bio and submit your question or comment. If it is appropriate, we will read it. If it's not appropriate, you will get left on red. And when I say we, who do I mean when I say we? I'm talking about me and bam, Uncle Samson. Uncle Samson is back, y'all. We didn't have Uncle Samson yesterday. I ain't know how to look, man. I don't know what I can do. I still think Uncle Samson is funny as hell. Like we are ecstatic to have Uncle Samson back because we did not have him back yesterday. So let's get into our fam topics. All right. And our first fam topic. So our triad is big as hell. That did not work out like I thought it would work at all. I tried to switch it up, y'all. This is what happens when you go live. So I tried to watch All American Homecoming, but I don't get the same vibes as I do other movies / shows about HBCUs. Am I looking too deep into this? I don't think that you're looking too deep into it. I've tried to. I love watching shows and movies about HBCUs. I don't think y'all understand. I am really, really about this HBCU life. Like, really. But I tried to watch it. I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna take some time where I'm not distracted. Like, I'm taking a month off from political work so I can like finish school stuff up, get ready for the holidays, and then fully concentrate on growing in the quad, as well as I'll talk about the calendar in a minute. I've tried to get into it. I'm going to try again, but I ain't gonna hold you. It does not catch me. It doesn't catch me, which sucks because it has a lot of elements that I think that have not been explored before. Particularly, I told y'all before, I'm a baseball guy. So the fact that they talked about HBCU baseball on it, that was great for me. I didn't watch the original All-American. Maybe that's why I'm not invested in it like that. But I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to give it a try. So we'll see. Maybe we can do, you know what? That might be something extra we can do either on the HBCU Plus app or on the HBCU Plus YouTube. Maybe do like an All-American Homecoming watch party or watch review or something like that. I'm gonna talk to Hardy about that, see if something we can pull off. So, but no, you are not alone with that. You're not alone with that at all. So we'll see. All right, what's next? Damn, it's big as hell. Why do you think that the Beach Bowl didn't work? Interesting enough, if y'all don't know what he's talking about, or she, or non-gender conforming individual is talking about, they are talking about the Florida Beach Bowl, which was the Division II HBCU bowl game that went on last year. Last year, I think it was Johnson C. Smith versus Fort Valley State, with Fort Valley State coming out the victor. It's not like your traditional. It's not like your traditional. It's not like Celebration Bowl. It's actually kind of more like a hybrid of what the Heritage Bowl was and the SWAC-MEAC Challenge. Because it wasn't necessarily the champions of each one, but it was, two schools featured from it. I was hoping that the Beach Bowl would happen again this year. I really was. And I told y'all my dream matchup for that game was going to be Johnson C. Smith versus Clark Atlanta. But, it's not happening. It's not happening. Why do I think it didn't work? I think it didn't work for a couple of reasons. One, you're talking about a brand new bowl game that was announced in September. That was going to have everybody in Miami in December. You give everybody less than 3 months to kind of prepare themselves. And it might have been announced a little earlier than September. I think maybe like late July, early August. But, people start prepping for the Celebration Bowl really after the previous one is over. People start making their plans for it then. Add to the fact that it was the week before the Celebration Bowl. So I think that has something to do with it as well. I'll say this much. I think it didn't work for a myriad of reasons. I think location was a big thing. I think that the fact that there's not a lot, especially at that time, there's not a lot of coverage on Division II ball. I don't think that HBCU media gets enough credit for sparking the interest online for a lot of these games and driving what has become the attendance, driving the pomp and circumstance around it. And unfortunately, that's just not something that D2 has the luxury of. I mean, obviously, this year has been a lot more coverage of it. Offscript has done coverage. I've done coverage. She Loves D has done coverage. HBCU Game Day with their D2 show. D2 HBCU football guy. He's done. Again, I give him all the props in the world for really like pushing Division two, and I said again, I just think they're playing better ball right now. So it's a lot of reasons it didn't work. I think location is the biggest thing though. Like you gotta have a joint in Atlanta or really in Virginia. I would certainly put out the case for Virginia or North Carolina, especially because a lot of your D2 schools, that's a neutral area for them. So yeah, hopefully it can come back to some degree. Maybe, I put it in South Carolina. Try that. Yep, Doc Holliday as well. Shout out to my brother Doc. Doc Holliday did a lot of coverage on Division 2. But I would say if you want to call it the Beach Bowl, let's do it at Myrtle Beach. Do it in South Carolina, and let's call it the D2 Beach Bowl and have it in Myrtle Beach. Something, but something's got to change. Miami is just not it's not really great. It hasn't shown to be great unless there are 2 Florida schools involved, or at least 1 Florida school involved. And no, I ain't being funny when I say this. Nobody's gonna go see Edward Waters in Miami for the Beach Bowl. So at least not right now. But hopefully it'll pick up soon. What we got next? Oh man. Okay. Damn. All right. I wanted to talk about this later. But hell, it's here now. Let's talk about it. So I've been doing the calendar since October 18th of 2023. That's when the first calendar dropped. With the exception of July, which I told y'all that it was a vacation. I lied to y'all. In July, the reason that I didn't do a calendar is because I had just gotten my contract with Urban Edge, and I had to start conceptualizing, putting together the show. So I took that month to get my intros, to get my segments, to put all that stuff together. So outside of July of this year, I've done the calendar every week since then, except for the weeks that I was sick. It's harder now, to be honest with you. It's harder now to do the calendar, especially doing the show every day, which you would think that, okay, you just pick one of the topics. But the thing about it is picking the topic from in the quad, which covers more than just Twitter. HBCU Twitter Weekly was specifically catered. There are people that are on Twitter that have gone viral on Twitter that Facebook and Instagram have no idea about, right? I kind of fashioned it the same way that Wild Wayne Cartwright, shout out to my brother Wayne, he was doing his swag predictions. I'm like, bro, you need to bring that over to, which I thought his swag predictions that he was doing on Facebook was a hell of a lot funnier than the calendar. I'm like, if you brought that over to Twitter, it will blow you up, seriously. But for me, it's become harder. It's become a lot more cumbersome. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. These last 2 weeks that I've done the calendar review on In the Quad, the numbers for those shows, much higher. Like I'm probably right now, and let me also say this, because I have 2 sets of metrics that I have to deal with, right? I got the numbers from the app, which luckily you all tend to go to the app more. Or they're just these dedicated watchers on the app versus social media. It just started building on Twitter. It just started building on YouTube. YouTube is not always the best representation of the numbers. Twitter has done amazing, but it pales in comparison when I'm looking and I'm like, okay, it's a couple hundred over here, 300-400 over here. But on the app, it's like 10,000, 13,000 up to then. So for me, again, this is just, I'm at a crossroads now. Do I end the calendar and just concentrate on building In the Quad? That's where I'm kind of looking at it. And I'll be transparent with y'all. I'm leaning that way because, again, the calendar was just something I did just for my own personal enjoyment that happened to go viral. And then it became a bit of a requirement. And it does take a lot of legwork to it, right? As opposed to in the quad, which equally takes because we talk about the calendar where we're like, oh, this is just one day for the calendar. And it's literally 4 trending topics I'm condensing into one day, plus when you all write in for your fam topics. So a part of me is like, let's just stay and build in the quad and let the calendar go, because the calendar is very one-dimensional, especially when you consider everybody seemingly is trying to migrate away from Twitter. I don't know. The calendar is my baby. I love it. And the quad is my baby. I love it. And it's also a revenue source. The calendar is not. But I also recognize that the calendar is the reason that I'm here right now. So I'm struggling with that right now. And that's really where, and that's one of the reasons I did run out of time yesterday. I wanted to talk about it, but I'm still pining over the decision. I don't want to stop doing the calendar as it stands right now. Let me just say this much. I'm going to do the calendar throughout the end of the year, and I'm going to do my year-end review like I did last year after Celebration Bowl. I don't know that after the year in review that the calendar is going to make it into 2025. I'm struggling with that. Something is going to have to give. Y'all, I'm not being funny when I say, like, I'm developing more shows over on this side. I have my interests outside of HBCU media that I'm doing. I'm bringing back my print on demand content. I just don't know if the calendar is going to fit in with it. And that's something that I struggle with, because again, I wasn't going to do any of this, and the calendar made all this possible. So it's like, I don't want to get rid of what brought me to the dance. But when I look at, in order for me not to get burned out and just say, screw it with all of it, which I've done before, I don't know that this is maybe something that I'm going to do. And I hate to get heavy. I hate to get heavy on it, but that's the truth. That's the honest truth. So we'll see. Right now, y'all know it's definitely going to be till the end of the year. And I'm going to do my end of the year review, which I cover all 12 months. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. I really wanted that to be the last thing, and I was going to be part of my final thoughts, but the order of this is kind of screwy. All right. What we got next? Now that we've gone all heavy. Will the SWAC ever move the Bayou and Turkey Day Classics to make a run at the playoffs? Well, that is not up to the SWAC. That's not up to the SWAC. And can I be honest? I think that, I don't say y'all, I think we overall give the conferences credit for having too much power. That's not up to the SWAC. That is up to Grambling and Southern and Alabama State. Now, the reason that I did not mention Tuskegee in that is because Tuskegee has not always been a part of the Turkey Day Classic. It's been the main part. It's been the part that has drawn people in for 100 years. But that is definitively Alabama State's Classic. So for those who did not think, this is one of the reasons why I keep trying to tell, like, we own or have significant control in most of our classics. So light flex, but it is what it is. It's up to them. We've attempted it before. I know when Dr. Boyd was president at Alabama State, she moved Turkey Day Classic to the Saturday before. But I think if we're doing it for the sake of the playoffs, I got to be honest with you. We got some work to do with our strength of schedule and the opponents that we pick and our overall play as a conference before we even think. I don't believe in changing up what we're doing right now for the playoffs when we can't even make the playoffs. You get what I mean? Like, we're not in position right now to be thinking about the playoffs. That's not our jam right now. We need to be concentrating on building these programs up, getting better coaching. There's just a bunch of stuff that we have to do in order to make ourselves viable for the playoffs before we talk about moving any of the games. And then I'm not being funny, unless the SWAC is going to replace the revenue that the Bayou Classic gives to Southern and Grambling, and that it draws for Alabama State. I don't, because we can't have the conversation. Because see, you have to pay to go to the playoffs. The Classics are a revenue driver. The playoffs are a revenue expenditure. So unless that's going to get replaced, then we can start having that conversation. But in the meantime, we need to concentrate on getting ourselves to the point, because even if you talk about the schools that are involved, Alabama State, Southern, and Grambling ain't nowhere near ready for the playoffs right now. That ain't gonna matter. It ain't gonna matter. We're not even sniffing the bid. We're not even sniffing the bid. So I really wish we would kind of dead that talk. And our last fam topic. This is really big. I know you covered it, but it's football, bro. Tensions run high with athletes all the time. Why do we get held to a different standard? We always get held to a different standard. We get held to a different standard in life. Listen, life is not fair, and neither is football. They will look at take the football team out of it. They will look at the fans from Ohio or Clemson, win a game, go out, burn the town down, and they'll just be, they're passionate. Let a shooting happen at homecoming, they're thugs. That's how we're covered. That's how we're covered. Fights happen at, listen, I've witnessed fights happen at Alabama games, Auburn games, Troy, Georgia, LSU, you name it. I've seen fights break out between the players. I've seen the water boy at LSU get into a daggone fight. And you know what? It ain't covered the same way. We get held to a different standard. That's just being Black in America. You don't have to like it, but it's the truth. So, again, I don't like it. I agree with you. It shouldn't be, and I get it. I don't know, it don't look like it, but I'm a former athlete. Like, I get it. Tensions do run high. Sometimes you want to smack them fools in the mouth. More often than not, you want to smack them in the mouth. Especially in the age of social media where everybody been talking, man, please. If you got, and I know because I'm guilty of this too, if you've got HBCU media personalities ready to fight, of course the athletes are going to be ready to fight too. But again, we're looked at it a different way. So you gotta look at it from that standpoint. Anyway, y'all, we're gonna take our last commercial break. I will be back with my final thoughts. It's In the Quad with Nick Eden.
Technology lets you monitor your pet when you're not at home. But to monitor threats to your hybrid workforce wherever they are, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who gets to know your business and can design and deploy custom solutions with pre-configured HP notebooks with HP Wolf Security. AI-enabled threat detection and remote management protect your endpoints 24/7, giving your defenses some real teeth.
Bummer.
HP makes always-on remote security possible. CDW makes it powerful.
Whether you call her Granny, Nana, my dear, she knows a treat makes any meal special. So come to McDonald's and treat yourself to the Grandma McFlurry today. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Time to call a credit repair company to fix my credit. Hold the phone, man. You can do it yourself with Credit Versio. That's way too hard. Call the credit repair company. Most credit repair companies only work on 1 or 2 accounts at a time, making it slow and expensive. You won't figure that out for months. Ignore him. Credit Versio's brilliant software scans all 3 credit bureaus, finds the accounts that are hurting your score, and guides you through the entire process. Anyone can do it. Let's fast forward and see the results. Wow, I fixed my own credit and saved hundreds. You can do this. Visit creditversio.com.
Amazon fall favorites are here. Save on fashion, home, beauty, and more. Shop Amazon fall favorites now.
When I push, when I push, I feel good. When I pull, I feel good.
Welcome back to In the Quad with Nick Eden. Let me go ahead and get Uncle Samson off of here. I'll see you tomorrow, Uncle Samson. Look, before I do final thoughts, not to make this political, but I just got a text during the commercial break that said I was spot on because it was folks that led a whole insurrection and attacked the Capitol, and you got people calling them victims, but we fight on the football field and we're thugs. That is the truest thing I have heard. The truest thing I have heard this year. My goodness. Y'all, real quick. Before I get to my final thoughts, let me give a quick shout out. Because y'all swear, you know, we don't be shouting them out, but I want to shout them out real quick. Shout out to my folks at From the Hill Podcast. T, Jen, Wayne, everybody, the whole crew over there. Tonight, they have my fraternity brother. Shout out to the good brothers of Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia Fraternity of America Incorporated. All hail. My fraternity brother, the second American Idol, the first Black American Idol, the first male American Idol, Ruben Studdard, will be on From the Hill Podcast tonight. So I want to shout out to them, man. They do really, really great content over at From the Hill. So y'all make sure that y'all go to From the Hill Podcast, subscribe, show them some love, tell them I sent you. Ruben Studdard is an Alabama A&M alumnus, and it's going to be an entertaining show. Knowing Ruben the way I do, it's going to be a very entertaining show. So I'm looking forward to it tonight. My final thoughts, y'all, pretty simple. I say it all the time. Be safe. Everybody be safe with your families. We're at the point now where we have a lot of tension-filled things that are going on in the HBCU landscape, and it's spilling over into games. Be safe, okay? I put it on Twitter. I put it on Instagram. I wanted to make the announcement. I will be broadcasting live from the Turkey Day Classic on Thanksgiving. So make sure. Now, I got to give y'all the details of it a little later because we're trying to lock down the actual time. It may not be during my usual 1 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Central spot. What I may do is do a pre-recorded regular show of In the Quad and then another live show either during the game, before it, or right after it. But we're still working all that out. We're still working all the time out. It's going to be great. It's going to be some interviews. It's going to be a lot of stuff going on. So I appreciate everybody who's been supporting me. I'm coming home, Bama State. I will see y'all at Turkey Day Classic. Outside of that, man, I just want to say I appreciate every single person who's been here. I know I was a little bit somber talking about the calendar, but the reality is, sometimes you got to make those hard decisions. A decision hasn't been made yet, but I would like to know your feedback on it. I appreciate everybody, and I will see you all same time, same place. Take care.